Alright, let me make a point to you. If you're mentally ill and you marry a woman and she's single, right? And she knows you're mentally ill, and you have paranoid schizophrenia, but he's willing to marry you despite you having a child from a previous relationship, right? Not focused on the child, but you. If you marry him because he wants a wife, right, and is looking for someone to marry him, right, who's taking advantage of whom? Would you think in that situation or the scenario? Dr. Zoloff sucks. That's your name, brother. Now, who's more responsible around the daughter? The mother or the sleeping stepdad on the couch? The mother. If she goes to sleep with her mother, where is she supposed to wake up? Who is she supposed to wake up with? Her mother. Her mother. If I'm asleep on the couch, who am I supposed to wake up with? Just Shane on the couch. You do get that right, you freaking moron! Why I'm innocent if the child wakes me up? You're mentally ill. Is the mom mentally ill? No. No. Guess who is, Shane? The mom does have half a brain, by the way. She did have a brain tumor removed from her head, right? That removed half her brain. I ain't saying she's all there in a pack of peanuts herself, right? But, legally speaking, who's her guardian? Her stepdad or her mother? Her mother. Right. If I'm asleep and the child would have to wake me up, who's responsible? Even if the mother's asleep, the mother. The mother! Not the sleepy stepdad on the couch where he's supposed to be if him and his wife got into a fight on their way to pick up the daughter. Right? If you get into a fight with your mother of your own child with her previous child on the way to pick the child up, what are you going to do when you get home? Take the couch. Take the couch. Because you're afraid of why she left you stranded in Tennessee and you don't know why. Something's wrong there. And the mother's acting like she don't even know you an apology or an explanation when she gets back too, right? So you're not on the couch just a few days. She's also seeing her biological dad, who she also ain't seen in a couple years, right? For 4 days, right? Then you meet her 4 days later. I remember all those details, by the way, too, right? The only thing I'm not sure of is if she woke me up in the middle of the night or not, right? The 4 days I might have been around her from Thursday to Sunday night, or Monday morning. Does that make some sense? See, one of those 4 days, the girl would have to have done that, and I don't recall, is what I'm saying, in the first damn place, right? I don't know if she did that or not. I'm also telling you, if she did, I would just bring her back to her mom, knowing something was up anyway, and I would think her mom might have been able to set me up. You understand what I mean there? Idiot! Not thinking like a paranoid schizophrenic because you're not paranoid enough to be considered paranoid schizophrenic. There's a word before the word schizophrenic. It's called paranoid. Now, what do you think a paranoid schizophrenic is really going to think if his stepdaughter wakes him up anyway? The wife's trying to set him up. Whether I had sex with her or not is irrelevant. Right. I'm not expecting her to wake me up, by the way. No, you're not. No, I'm not. I'm expecting her to stay there with her mom, right? Right. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? If you've been on the couch for more than 4 days, more than a week. Oh, almost a week. Almost 5 days, right? You hear what I'm saying? And the daughter was to suddenly wake you up. What do you think the mother could have been setting you up and you would try not to do much with her anyway? Yeah. Does that make sense? If you're paranoid schizophrenic, doctor. You gotta take that into consideration. I'm not just schizophrenic. There's a P word in front of it. That means I'm watching out for problems. You understand, Dr. Dumbass? Dumas. As they said in a comedy. You're Dumas. Okay? You're Dr. Dumas. You're not using your head. You're not hearing the full diagnosis. You're trying to separate it. You can't do that. I'm diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. I'm paranoid you're out to get me, in other words. You too, doctor. You can't listen either well. You don't realize I'm a mixed male and might have a mixed forehead, which doesn't mean I'm going bald or my hair is receding, right? Means I have a mixed forehead, right? I'm several different nationalities, right? Not just one. This side is probably my English side, and this side is probably my French side. You bet? I bet. Now, look at Mark Consuelos' hair. Here's is more even, that right? Though still a little, got a little point in the front, right? Because we're around the same age, I know. Now, they don't always do it. Now, let's see if they have the age up there today. He's part of the cast now. They might, yep. Well, no, Kelly Ripa, but, alright. But not Mark's information, but women don't usually deal with it. But, okay, Kelly's was born in October 2nd, 1970, for example. Mark, we don't know because there's no real info for him for some reason. Dish, where's Mark's information? Oh, yes, that's Dish Network's fault. They're the one offering the information. Supposedly. But you see what I mean, even on the t-shirt. See, he's got one side that looks higher than the other, right? Does that mean Mark Consuelos is going bald at our age? No. Why not? Why not? He got a full set of hair from here on back. You retard. Retarded means you're slow and don't want to understand the musical terms, right? By the way. It's a musical term. I know it is. And I'm using it as a musical term, right? By the way. I'm not calling you retarded. I'm calling you retarded. In the musical sense of the word. You're slow. You don't understand common sense. Someone cannot reason with you that if they're really going bald by now, they would be bald by now. After 20 years of being my hair this way, you're saying I'm going bald tomorrow. No. It'll take a long ass time. if not ever. My hair might stay this way for the rest of my life, idiot. And it ain't none of your business. You're not going to be my doctor if you're already diagnosing me this way. You're prejudiced in your thinking. You're walking by sight, not by faith. You don't hear I'm 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 different nationalities with a mixed hairline. That's all that means. And I'm telling you, one side is French, one side is English, too. You can't tell. Oh, there he is at the sideline. Now, where we differ, though, me and Mark, right? Okay, and you can see it here. What the problem is this part of the hairline, right? Seems to go upper, right? Higher. And this side, okay, doubles, right? It goes here and then up there. Well, that gives the appearance of a receding hairline, unlike with Mark's, right? See, I'm not gonna rag Mark. I'll say, Mark, I know your hairline's gonna recede. Oh, for 4 damn years on YouTube. Like I'm a real doctor or something. Specializing in hair loss. If you are, you would realize my hair ain't receded in the same 4 years, and I've been showing you this for 4 damn years, right? It ain't receded. Or you're stubborn as hell yourself. A stubborn doctor is just as bad as a quack doctor, right? Which means a doctor who is pretending to know what he's doing, but really he don't. And that's why you have these bot surgeries with the plastic surgery world, and you have the bot doctors trying to fix that. I don't think that's a bad idea either, right? I think that's a good idea. If someone really has a problem in that area, you need a plastic surgeon to fix the shit, right? Excuse me, French there. To fix the stuff the other doctor messed up. Now, the quack doctor was the other doctor, by the way. There are quack doctors out there who pretend to know what they're doing, but really they don't. If you're not really a hair specialist, stay out of my hair life. Thank you. That's the second topic we keep talking about. Right. My stepdaughter, or, my dating life. At 54 and single. Guess what? I can date a 16-year-old, 17-year-old, 18-year-old in Georgia. But not a 15-year-old. I would even try to date one. I would have to ask their age, though. To know if they're 15 or not. But a 15-year-old can't work as a nail tech, right? You gotta be 16, too. I know. If you can't do it at 16, right? Until 16, you can't do it at 15, not even as an intern, no. That's what that means legally, idiot. That's why they can't just arrest me on your word I did something wrong. Even if you know she's 15 and call the police. They can't even show up. No, they can't. Because then you're doing something illegal too. Right. They gotta look at the fact that, oh, wait a minute, he is right. It does say you gotta be 16 to do that job. You gotta have a GED and be qualified, right? Meaning you have to have a certificate before you can do it, right? Now that means when you turn 16, you first get your GED, and then you work as what's called an apprentice, right? Where you get a paycheck, but you can't touch the nails, right? You're being trained to do it, right? You watch the other women do it, right? As an apprentice, right? Then when you complete the certification process, right? Then you can do the nails. After you get your certification in Georgia. Then you can do the nails. Same in New Jersey, by the way. You gotta be 17 there, though. Now, when you turn 16 or 17 in Georgia or New Jersey, you can start the apprenticeship program. Right. Meaning you're training to become a nail tech. And you're usually paid less. Your job is just to keep the area clean for the lady while she's training you and showing you how to do the nails until you get your certification, right? When you get your certification, then you can do the nails yourself, right? And you're legally able to do the nails. Without your GED, which you didn't have at 15, right? Or your certification, you can't touch my nails. Not with a 10-foot pole. Not even as an intern, right? Especially as an intern. Or an apprentice yet. Yes. You're not qualified to actually touch my nails. And illegally, you can't do it yet. Yes. You got to get your certification first. Then you can do the nails, right? So you're acting as either an intern or an apprentice. An apprentice also gets paid less what an apprentice is supposed to do is like help her out with the different nail things you might use and show her, learn what she's supposed to do and watch only. That's why the apprentice is usually paid less than the nail tech themselves, right? By the way, too, right? It's a pay-as-you-go job, right? First, you're trained for so many months, and then you get your certification, and then you can do the job yourself, right? Yes. Am I speaking out of turn? No. Am I making something up? No. Are you? Yes. You're pretending the 15-year-old can do any job she wants to do when she can't in Georgia. No. Nope. Or the United States. She can't. Especially when it specifically says you gotta be 16. I know. Before you can do the job. And 16 is under 18, so that's still a minor's age. But a 16-year-old can also consent to sex without any role of the parent being involved. And that's your problem. Now, another problem is even if she was 15, does she have the right to seduce a new client who just came in there for the first date? No. She can't lie to the client. She's 37 if she knows she's 15 because the client don't know her yet. And the employee is supposed to be backed by the employer, which would be the person running the establishment, right? Whether a man or a woman. I don't know if that was ran by a man or a woman. But the second time I came in, a man did my nails 30 days later, right? Because I was having my nails done every 30 days or so. Before I went to that salon. In other salons, too, right? I was just going around to different salons anyway. I told you that. You also want to take part of the story and not listen to the whole story. That's another thing you mess up with. Alright? So let's get on to The Bachelor. Like on ABC. Does one man have the right to pick from 25 women which woman is the one? Like that, it's going to narrow the field. No. Now, there's a snowball chance in hell that the one is even around you, right? You don't even know where the one might be, right? Or who the one even is. Oh, no, you don't. That's the first thing you gotta admit, is you don't even know who the one is. You don't know as you are known, according to the Apostle Paul. You only know in part. And you only prophesy in part. That means you can deal with half the information like you're doing with me, but not the full information as I'm trying to do with you. Right. See, you're leaving out details that changes the whole situation. Now, if my ex-wife knew I was mentally ill, and she's the girl's guardian after that, right? Who's responsible? The mother. And I'm on the couch. The mother. Whether asleep or awake, who's responsible? The mother. Not the sleeping step-parent who's not even aware if the child came in there or not. Right. Especially 11 years after, before he got on YouTube, right? When he brought it up in blogs, even. That don't count either. I'm talking about it more based on the SVU anyway. When I said I could have molested her but didn't, right? Well, SVU had been on since 99, right? Idiot. And I watch the show sometimes, right? Not religiously or anything, and I've seen just about every episode, yeah, but not obsessively. Not obsessively. It's just a show I watch regularly, right? Right. Now I eat cereal, or I do things for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Play games by myself because I'm alone. But I do characters. I can do one as Yogi Bear. Over there. Or 7 inch. I don't know, I just make up a word sometimes. You can pick a voice out the hat to me, and just sound like anybody else out like, oh. And I do that to work on my talent. Oh, what do they say makes perfect? Practice. I know. It don't sound like it, sir. Yeah, I do voices a lot. Like Robin Williams or something, another schizophrenic. Of course, I'm not happy that the man died tragically in the suicide. Of course not, That's a failure for a schizophrenic. But not all schizophrenics do that either. Nope. Finish the cereal. Oh yeah, what's his name was on the show too. Okay, someone else is supposed to be on it now. Adam Copeland is supposed to be on it, right? And Alika Cox, right? From Echo, and Victim this week. But it's WWE star, what's his face? What's his thing? But he ain't supposed to be on it today. I don't know what's going on. They're supposed to be fit this week, but yeah, Copeland, I know that, right? Or Alexa Cox, right? I know that. What's his name? I don't know. I'm forgetting. Not Chris Jericho. I don't know. He also formed the Judgment Day, right? I forget. Well, I'm talking also about normal memory loss, right? And how after 11 years, whether you were with around the stepdaughter or not, you wouldn't even remember if she did something with you or not, right? Necessarily. Even if she were to wake you up, right? Things like that, right? Because, see, that wouldn't be important to me, but it would to my ex-wife, for example. And that would mean she was woken up during the process if she knows about it, right? Herself. See, I might have had to make her up, and I don't remember the details, right? See, that would be a brief encounter for me, right? That's what I mean. And I would just bring her back to her mom, and it would seem more like a dream interaction than a real interaction, because it would be that brief, right? And I've been explaining it that way, too, right? As a bad dream or a nightmare. And for a schizophrenic, I could have dreamed it because of my pastor, and I told you about that, too, right? He was trying to masturbate with his congregation, especially his single males, right? And was trying to teach me it was okay to masturbate with each other. Now, I showed you a scripture that dealt with it singularly, right? Meaning, if you spill your seed before evening and you're alone, right? You're only unclean till evening. And you're to wash and you're clean, right? No. Afterwards. What does that mean? You can do it as long as you wash and then, right? You're only unclean to evening. You're only unclean to evening, right? After you do it. Sounds like it's somewhat permissible, huh? Yeah. But if you do the same thing with a woman, you're to both wash. You're both to wash. See, that's another thing about stoning someone. You can't just stone the woman in Jewish society. So whoever wrote that wrote it correctly, right? To show you the confusion of the crowd versus Jesus, right? And the point is, you're not the stoner without the man, right? And only her husband can stone her, and if Jesus wasn't her husband, he had no say-so over there, right? They're supposed to bring her to her husband, not some guy claiming to be the Messiah. He has no say over it, right? He's also under Roman authority, so by Roman authority, only Pontius Pilate can actually, command the death of a prisoner or not, or a person or not, right? Or Herod, right? As with John the Baptist, he beheaded him, and there's nothing you can do about it, right? Though Jesus was brought to Pilate, right? For insurrection, for trying to start his own kingdom. And like you said, well, those that hear the truth, I'm their king. But, otherwise, I'm not the king of nobody if you don't want to listen to me, right? See, your masters whom you obey, right? If you're obeying Satan to destruction, you're going to hell with Satan. But we're all going to hell with Satan. There's no soul that won't die, I don't know. Or you're full of crap. No, you're full of crap. Now, there may come a day when Jesus does actually return, which we don't know when that is. Right? Could be another 1,000 years, Christians! But he's still got to deal with what's going on now. Right? I ain't saying there ain't a plan in place, but if he still might have to wait another 1,000 years, he can't fully come back yet. Either. There might be a different plan involved. If the rapture involves taking you up, and I fly around the planet and take you all up into heaven with me, have I not taken you up into heaven, but I haven't returned yet? True. See, that's how I picture the rapture. Jesus is taking you all up into heaven because of the sin nature of man, right? And he's bringing you up into heaven first, and then at the millennial reign, when he starts that day, right, he comes back and touches down on the Mount of Olives, right? And then that begins that period, right? But we still might have 1,000 years under Satan still, right? See, he's not yet casted down into the bottomless pit, right? It's not until the millennial reign begins that he will be. I know. And then after that, even he's released and resurrected among the unjust. Because Isaiah said they will look upon him and say, is this the man, right? The one, right, who deceived the whole world, right? It's not just talking about that particular person. who's being addressed, who was Sirius or Cyrus, right? Or whoever it was at the time, right? The prophet was addressing. It also applies to Satan, right? Who is the chief rebel. So you have the leader of the rebellion, right? And then you have the others rebelling with him, right? We're always taught Lucifer or Satan is the leader of the rebellion. And everything he's teaching you is wrong. Even if it seems good at some point, it's really with a mixed message, right? It's also evil. It's also evil. And that's the problem with homosexuality. It's both good and evil, right? The reason it's good is, you might confine them to people of age, over 16 or 18, right? Who might actually care for each other, right? And have a sexual relationship. That ain't the problem, right? The problem is when you want to murder over it or harm people over it. And vice versa, or people want to harm you over it, right? Which you're not supposed to do it either way, just over sex, right? So if you're murdering over sex, you're trying to control the person's feelings and how they feel. And that's not something you can always do. Now, some people, though, are taught certain behaviors means you're gay and certain behaviors mean you're straight, which ain't true either. And, like, some people